Most of Joel and Ellie's famous flashbacks from the video game are adapted in The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 6, The Price. However, one of the best flashbacks is missing. In The Last of Us Part 2, as Ellie is pursuing vengeance across Seattle, a few flashbacks gradually reveal how her relationship with Joel soured before his death. The flashbacks are scattered throughout the game, but in the TV show, they are all shown back-to-back in a single episode, organized around Ellie's yearly birthday celebrations. The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 6 contains a number of flashbacks that are taken straight from the game, such as Joel and Ellie's visit to the Science Museum and their heart-to-heart on Joel's porch. Some of the flashbacks are brand new, but they accomplish the same dramatic goal. Eugene's premature death demonstrates to Ellie how easily Joel can deceive her, proving that he lied about the fireflies. However, one important flashback from the game, a chapter called Finding Strings, was completely omitted from the TV series, which is unfortunate because it's one of the game's strongest scenes. They return to the theater in the game after Ellie and Jesse have run into each other while traveling through the Seattle suburbs, and they have barely escaped the wolves. Dina is thrilled to see Jesse, and Ellie sneaks out to give the two ex-lovers some alone time, during which she recalls a fateful day with Joel 2 years prior. It began innocently enough, when Joel took Ellie to an abandoned music store to get some new strings for her guitar, but it is immediately apparent that something is bothering Ellie, and she won't say what. They cut through a motel because the path to the music store is flooded. There are a lot of infected people at this motel. A bloater attacks them as they are slinking through a wall. After a valiant battle, the bloater captures Ellie, and the game begins its typical death by bloater animation. Joel intervenes, however, and uses a machete to cut the bloater to pieces. Just think of how amazing it would have been to watch Joel, played by Pedro Pascal, accomplish that. It's a really cool picture to see Joel use a machete to kill a bloater, but it also shows how protective Joel is as a father and how he can do superhuman things to protect Ellie. Getting so close to a bloater is typically a death sentence in the universe of The Last of Us. Joel, however, becomes enraged when Ellie's life is in jeopardy and begins slashing until the threat is eliminated and Ellie is secure. He acted in the same way when the Fireflies informed him that they would murder Ellie in order to develop a remedy. As is often the case with The Last of Us action gameplay, there is something deeper going on here, which helps us better understand Joel's fierce paternal instincts and why he did the terrible thing that would ultimately get him killed. On the surface, this sequence is typical action gameplay, so it makes sense that the TV producers chose to skip it. The Finding Strings flashback serves the actual dramatic function of illustrating Ellie's developing mistrust of Joel as she begins to doubt his account of the Fireflies and the potential remedy. In the game, Ellie finally asks Joel for the truth about the cure after witnessing two young Jackson escapees die at the motel from an infection. However, the entire Eugene scene in the TV series repeated Joel's habit of lying to Ellie, transporting her back to the time he vowed that the Fireflies were unable to develop a remedy and were killed by raiders. Joe Pantoliano's outstanding performance in the Eugene sequence from The Last of Us Season 2 was a great way to make the same point. Unfortunately, we were not able to witness Joel and Ellie's pointless search for guitar strings. Pascal's Joel killing a bloater would have been amazing. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos.